So they need a global one-child policy, which they openly advocate and say, yeah, it's going to be, quote, politically sensitive. It might have to be draconian. And that's what they advocate, to get population down to 3.45 billion by the end of this century, or actually by 2045.
You know what? That story you didn't get enough attention. I want you to repost that as a tile on prisonplanet.com and Infowars.com and tweet that out on my tweet, on my Twitter and your Twitter, or my tweeter, as former governor of Texas, Rick Perry, would call it. Send that out, because this is important. People need to see this directly from the leaders of our scientific community, how they're going to kill 90+% of us, and how they're going to start world wars and pandemics to do it. And then we go, gee, they've got bioweapons labs in Africa, and gee, they admit they created airborne Ebola to kill black people. Gee, could this be that? Oh, how dare you, conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, crazy man. It just doesn't work anymore. People understand what's going on. Paul Joseph Watson, what else are you working on right now for Infowars.com?
I'm thinking that I probably should actually make a video about this academic paper, because I was going to do so at the time. Then it got no attention when I put the article out, so I just dropped it. But I mean, the fact about it is that, again, Ehrlich has been proven wildly inaccurate time and time again, yet he's still cited as this supreme authority. If you actually look at the population demographics, even in places like Brazil and India, they're starting to gradually fall. Of course, in many European countries like Russia, the governments are literally begging people to have children, giving them financial incentives. And actually, after 2050, the major problem is going to be underpopulation, and all the sober evidence points to that.
Well, Paul,
then you've got people like Ehrlich, who control Holdren in the White House, saying that no, it's going to get completely out of control, despite the fact that he's been proven wrong time and time again. And they're saying we need a global one-child policy. And it's, most people are never going to see this, because you have to pay $10 and it's a dry academic, 16-page paper. They're not going to read it. Well,
it's a regurgitation of what they said thousands of times, and the word is getting out on it, Paul. That's why people weren't that interested in your paper, because it's like, oh, the elite want to kill everybody and have a global government to do it? Oh, I already know that. Let's move on. Yeah, we need to get the word out on this, folks, and warn people, because that's what the fluoride and the GMO and all of it is about. They're doing it to everybody. They just soft kill Westerners because they want you to waddle off and die 20 years later. But in Africa and places, they hit them and hit them hard. And some of you are like, well, there are too many people. You can't morally get away from that it'll come back on you as well. It is total evil. It's all about control. If they just industrialize these countries, they'll stop having as many kids. All the numbers, all the graphs, all the actuaries show it. Paul Watson, thank you so much.
Thanks, Alex.
And speaking of Ebola, we do have one of the global experts on bioweapons, Stephen Hatfield, Dr. Stephen Hatfield. You know that name. They tried to pin the anthrax attacks on him, and then 3 other people, till they finally killed the 5th patsy, so he couldn't talk. But they weren't able to get Hatfield. He's going to be coming on to talk Ebola with us. I want to go to your phone calls the next 2 segments. Wayne, Rob, Red Diamond, Woody, and Joe, and others. So be ready. I'm going to go right to you after the break. Your take on the election, your take on Ebola, your take on Forbes saying they went to the press conference and they admitted that there's a cover-up of what appear to be Ebola cases, to shut up about it and then let the people be disappeared. What's next? Start arresting reporters and disappearing us, and you'll just go along with that? What's wrong with you people? Do your job. This is not North Korea. It will be soon. If this continues, what is your problem? Admit Ebola cases. Let people know. Then they'll have confidence. When you cover up, it causes lack of confidence. But it's a culture of lying about everything. All right, before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, I personally am getting my body's natural defenses ready and up to snuff with sunshine, filtered water, non-GMO, exercise. Having a good time is important. Not living in fear, but living prepared, all the studies show, are what boost immune systems as well, being confident. We have the Biodefense Pack, Survival Shield, nascent iodine, that I believe is just as important as colloidal silver for overall health and body preparation, not being caught flat-footed or on your heels. With the Lung Cleanse spray, 10% off, even though we're selling out of the Survival Shield. I'm still doing it until it sells out. It'll take a few weeks to get more in. Of Survival Shield X2 with Lung Cleanse, you get 10% off at checkout. No promo code needed. 10% off the already discounted. All the other supplements, and we are going to end this soon, 5% off with promo code NOW. Promo code NOW at InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com. It is so essential, in my view, to flush out your intestines with the Oxy powder. You've heard the rave reviews. Don't procrastinate. Just try it. Plus a sports broadcast. DNA Force, a true top-of-the-line nutraceutical. The Bentley of nutraceuticals at a Ford price, and it also supports the transmission. Fluoride Shield Chelator blocks the fluoride and a whole bunch of other heavy metals and garbage. It's key to go with the Survival Shield to get your thyroid boosted and all the rest of it. It's just done wonders for me and my family. Silver Bullet looks like it'll come in next week. Some of the best colloidal silver out there, but it's still sold out right now. InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. And don't just stock up on Survival Shield and Silver Bullet for yourself. Get it so you can help friends and family and turn them on to health. That's another way to convert people to waking up to their good halogen deficiency, is to get them on it.
Are you ready to surrender your right to buy body armor? No joke. Congress is now trying to outlaw civilian body armor. And if House Bill H.R. 5344 becomes law, you can kiss your right to protect yourself against rifle bullets goodbye. Don't put off your body armor purchase any longer. Go now to InfidelBodyArmor.com. Thousands of military veterans trust their lives to Infidel Body Armor. You should too. Spelled INFIDEL. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
Digestive health is key to wellness, and Pro-EM1 is the key to digestive health. Pro-EM1 is a daily liquid probiotic that improves food absorption and supports weight loss by removing toxins from your system. Recommended by doctors, Pro-EM1 is 100% natural, organic, non-GMO, wheat, soy, gluten, and dairy-free. Call us today at 888-611-8025 or visit ProEM1.com to save over $25 on your order. That's 888-611-8025 or PROEM1.com.
Hi, folks. Alex Jones here with some important information. I want to tell you about Matt Redhawk and his team of patriots over at My Patriot Supply. Several years ago, Matt was sitting in his two-bedroom apartment, frustrated with the direction this country was headed and the charlatans willing to sell us out for a quick buck. Deciding to take action, a company run by patriots for patriots was born. My Patriot Supply has never taken a loan or accepted outside funding. They now operate 2 distribution facilities and employ over 50 hardworking American men and women. It is rare to find companies who practice what they preach. And that's why I stock my pantry with high-quality storable foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today for special offers on emergency food storage, or call their preparedness specialist at 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Do business with someone who shares your values. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex.
Americans, it's the end of the world as you've known it. Hi, this is Larry Crisp with BabyBoomerBackupPlan.com. And right now, if you're a middle-class American, you probably feel like you're being squeezed out of existence. As incomes drop, food prices rise, and job markets remain abysmal, how will you provide the cash flow you and your family need to survive? Every generation knows that the old plan of trading 40 hours a week for 40 years, then retiring to a golf course is a thing of the past. But while the traditional concept of retirement is fading, a new and exciting time of re-inspirement is emerging. You can find out how friends of mine from 25 to 85 years old have learned the secrets of creating cash flow and freedom they never dreamed possible in my free special report at BabyBoomerBackupPlan.com. Yes, it is the end of the world as we've known it, but you'll be re-inspired by my special report at BabyBoomerBackupPlan.com. Call 800-704-4117. That's 800-704-4117.
Headline on Infowars.com, Obama caught ordering press to cover up Ebola-like cases. Obama vows to proceed with executive amnesty for illegal immigrants. What landslide? 90-year-old World War II vet charged for feeding homeless again. Obama seeks new authorization for war in the Middle East. The economy of the largest superpower on the planet is collapsing right now. Finland warns Europe that they are at the gates of a new Cold War in the wake of Russian military activity. That's just some of the news. Max Slavo, who writes great articles, says election results, who's going to change? What's going to change is only who is going to screw you, not whether you'll get screwed. I don't totally disagree with that, but if we hold the Republicans' feet to the fire now, and there's no honeymoon period, and slam all these new people that came into office and say, you repeal Obamacare, you repeal gun control, you do this list of constitutional things, we could really change things. Let's go ahead and talk to Wayne in Texas. Thanks for calling. You're on the air.
Good morning, Alex. Good to speak with you. I've got a little idea here. You know, they flipped this thing on its head. Well, why can't we do the same thing? You know, a simple example would be, let's have us a million mass march, and instead of the police surrounding us as we march down the street, how about we surround the police and show our support for them, that we will stand behind them. You know, let's get out of our paradigm box of following the rules that they're setting.
I agree. They always want everybody fighting with each other instead of just agreeing on the Bill of Rights and Constitution.
Yeah, let's brainstorm this thing out. You know, what can we do different that doesn't fit their paradigm to show them that we are on the march?
Well, Robert David Steele talks about trigger events, and so does folks like Steve Pachinik. Well, I ought to get Pachinik and Steele on together to talk about trigger events. But instead of having a bad trigger event, what's a good trigger event to bring America together to rediscover liberty? Great points. We'll try to brainstorm that one day and have open phones on the subject of what are stunts we can pull to try to jumpstart America's heart. I think that's already starting to happen. Red Diamond in Texas, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, talk about the Ebola for a minute. Now, we got the borders wide open, and the government's response by not shutting down the international flights and stuff, all they're trying to do, in my opinion, is just wait for something to happen so people will stay in their homes, and then it's going to have an economic impact on the region where the outbreaks occur, and I think that's what they want, and then they're going to come after the guns when they know everybody's at their houses. Is there any truth to that?
We've got to look at every option, every outcome, and that's one of the big ones. So there's something behind this Ebola and the default stand down and the defaults being ignored. There's clearly something bigger going on. There's clearly a cover-up of Ebola cases. That's even in Forbes now, that they're ordered to cover it up and they're complying. So that is just sensationally big that they're covering that up. I mean, it's one thing like the press used to agree to not talk about presidents and their girlfriends. Quite frankly, that's okay because that's somebody's private life. I don't want to know about it. I'm a libertarian. But we do need to know if the president's taking bribes. We do need to know if the president's spying on the press. We do need to know if the president's shipping guns into Mexico. We do need to know if they're ordering the press to cover up Ebola cases. That is criminal. That is a dictatorship forming right there.
And then, you know, I listen to your show every day, and I hear about, you know, the power bills going up. My power bill's doubled in the last 2 years. You know, I'm on disability. I'm a veteran. And what do? They want us in the streets, or they want us in our houses? What do you think they're
in the first 4 years, they shut down, according to Forbes again, 400-plus power stations, coal power. They've shut down another 300 in the last 2. They're about to shut 1,000 down. So it'll quadruple your prices. Yeah, they want you in the streets on welfare.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Using unparalleled research in the development of a synergistic formulation based around the key concepts of super oxygenation, the next level in cleansing is here. With key ingredients backed by real clinical studies, the new Oxy Powder, available through InfoWars Life, was invented during Dr. Group's research on the toxification of our bodies. Many herbal colon cleansers are harsh on the body and contain cheap and potentially dangerous ingredients, oftentimes full of synthetic fillers, GMOs, additives, or worse. Gently start cleaning your body with easy capsules that start working while you sleep. Oxy Powder does not require time off work, and there's no need for bad-tasting concoctions. Instead, Oxy Powder slowly releases monoatomic oxygen into the intestinal tract and body. Experience the astonishing cleansing power of superoxide and ozonide technology. Go to InfoWarsLife.com or InfoWarsStore.com to get started with Oxy Powder, or call 1-888-253-3130.